Who are you when nobody is watching? If nobody could judge you, if money wasn't your biggest concern, if you didn't have to prove yourself, who would you become? What would you create? Which part of yourself would finally come alive? Because that's exactly what this new moon in Leo is inviting us to explore. Leo is often associated with creativity, confidence, and self-expression. But beneath all that, I believe Leo is really about authenticity. It's about remembering who we truly are beneath the years of conditioning. Very few of us grow up expressing our inner truth freely. Instead, we gradually learn how to adapt. We learn which parts of ourselves are welcomed, which parts receive love, and which parts feel safe to express. Some of us become the achiever. Some become the helper. Some become the perfectionist. Some become the one who never asks for too much or never disappoints. Slowly, our authentic self becomes covered by layers of conditioning. We begin living from a version of ourselves that is created to survive, rather than live. These strategies aren't wrong. In fact, once they protected us. Our nervous system learned that being a certain way helped us belong, helped us avoid pain, helped us survive. But over time, they can gradually disconnect us from our essence. David Hopkins describes something very similar in his work on consciousness. He explains that when our lives are dominated by emotions such as fear, shame, guilt, resentment, or pride, we tend to identify ourselves with what he calls the false self. But as our consciousness expands into courage, acceptance, willingness, and love, we begin reconnecting with our authentic nature. I also believe that this is deeply connected to our nervous system. Every protective pattern once had a purpose. Perhaps staying quiet felt safer. Perhaps pleasing others felt safer. Perhaps hiding your gifts felt safer. Or maybe achieving became the way you learned to feel worthy. None of these strategies make us wrong. The question is simply, are they still serving the person we are becoming? This new moon also invites us to reflect on something very important, and that is, where does our sense of self-worth is actually coming from? Is it based on what we've achieved, our income, our appearance, or our relationship? Or is our sense of self-worth based on how productive we are, or the approval of others, or our status? Or can we really value ourselves before any of those things exist? It's completely natural to enjoy appreciation from others. We all do. The difference lies in where we begin. Do we create in order to receive validation? Or does validation become a beautiful consequence as a result of expressing something that is already true within ourselves? Recently, I've been reflecting on this a lot myself. I've noticed how easy it can be to question ourselves when the external results don't immediately reflect the energy we've invested. And it reminded me of something important. External results don't always tell us whether we are moving in the right direction or not. sometimes they simply ask us to return to why we started. When I create something that feels genuinely true, something that feels like honest expression of who I really am, it feels completely different. There is still uncertainty, there is still vulnerability, but beneath all that, there is peace. So I'd like to invite you into a little thought experiment. Imagine that money wasn't your concern. Imagine you had enough. Imagine you didn't need to prove yourself, you didn't need to survive. Who would you become? What would your heart and soul want to create? What would bring you genuine joy, even when nobody applauded? Because what we create from authenticity nourishes us. What we create from fear often leaves us exhausted, and our body knows the difference. This isn't just any new moon. It is a total solar eclipse in Leo. Eclipses often mark moments of profound transition and new beginnings. They illuminate what is ready to emerge, while also inviting us to leave behind what no longer reflects who we are becoming. And that makes this invitation to authenticity even more powerful. This new moon is also beautifully supported by the rest of the chart. Jupiter, also in Leo, encourages us to expand into a bigger version of ourselves. Mercury invites us to change the way we think about ourselves. Venus in Libra reminds us that authentic relationships begin when we stop pretending. Uranus in Gemini encourages new perspectives and fresh ways of expressing ourselves. At the same time, Pluto challenges us to let go of old identities that no longer serve us. And perhaps Pluto asks us one of the deepest questions of all. Can we remain authentic, even if not everybody approves? Or perhaps even more honestly, can we tolerate not being liked by everyone? Because the truth is, not everybody will understand us. Not everybody will resonate with what we create. And perhaps that's exactly how it's supposed to be. We aren't here to be everything to everybody. We are here to express what is uniquely ours to give and allow it to reach those that truly resonate with it. Sometimes our greatest ideas appear too small, too strange, too unrealistic, perhaps even silly. But unless we dare to express them, we'll never know whether they were ordinary or extraordinary. Every meaningful creation begins with a small spark, and like every fire, it only grows when we learn how to nurture it. Leo asks us not to wait until we feel ready. It asks us to begin. Because authenticity is remembering who we were before fear told us who we had to be. If you'd like to continue this journey of remembering who you truly are, I'd love to welcome you in our Leo New Moon Circle. Together we'll explore the beliefs and thought patterns that may be keeping us disconnected from our authentic self, creating more space for our true nature to shine. I really hope to see you there. Much love.